You know, I already hated her in the last episode of Citrus, but my god, I cannot stand Matsuri. She's such a snake. I hate characters like her. I really do, because she's so possessive and jealous, and she thinks that, you know, she needs Yuzu all to herself. I can't stand characters like her at all. I don't know. I don't like it. And it's adding conflict to the series that kind of does need to be there, because we have seen with this episode that Mei has changed. She is changing. She's becoming more aware of her feelings, and she is taking steps to be with Yuzu and not just, you know, try to lead her astray. We see that Mei is understanding that she is in love with, you know, Yuzu. And Yuzu, obviously, we know she loves Mei. And so this conflict has progressed. I cannot stand Matsuri. Those type of characters just make me very livid and very angry. And it's not the show. I'm not mad at the show. I'm not mad at the episode. I don't like those type of characters because they annoy me. So, Matsuri, she manages to kind of mess with two boys to actually sit back behind the scenes and take a picture of when Mei was going to do something to her. Now, Matsuri, she figured that Mei was going to pop her, which makes sense. I mean, after what, you know, Matsuri was saying to Mei, you would probably want to do that too to her. You probably want to right there, right in the face, and it didn't happen. Mei did something that makes sense for what the series has done so far, but I mean, Mei decides to grab Matsuri and kiss her to shut her up. And the reasoning for this was, you stole a kiss from Yuzu, and I was just taking it back. That's pretty much what she was doing in that moment. And even though Matsuri wanted to take a picture of it soon as Mei punched her, instead the boys took a picture of soon as Mei kissed her. And so now she has this picture that can basically blackmail Mei against Yuzu. Because think about this, okay? Let's just be real. This is a romance series. Yes, it's Yuri, but it's a romance series, and I've seen enough anime, okay? I've read enough manga to know when a character takes a picture of someone kissing someone else or hanging around someone else, it's obviously for blackmail. It's obviously to cause conflict between the main love interest. That's the big point here. And so, with Matsuri having that picture at her disposal, she's basically going to probably wave that in front of Mei, like, hey, look, if you don't stay away from Yuzu, I'm going to send this to her. And you know, knowing how despicable Matsuri is as a person, I could definitely see her sending it to Yuzu on Christmas, or Christmas Eve. I can definitely see it. Since Christmas Eve and Christmas is happening in the next episode, I could definitely see Matsuri just sending that picture right then and there, just to completely upset Yuzu. I mean, just think about this in your head, okay? Just think about it. You have it to where they're sitting down for their family dinner. Mei, the mother, and, you know, Yuzu, they're sitting down, they're having a family dinner. You know, their first Christmas family dinner. And then all of a sudden you have a phone call ring in for Yuzu. She looks at her phone, she sees a picture when she opens up her phone, and she sees Mei kissing Matsuri. That's going to ruin the entire atmosphere. Not just for the fact that Yuzu is obviously in love with Mei, but it's going to ruin the atmosphere because she's just going to get very upset. She's going to feel, you know, rejected, and she's just going to be like, so you just kiss anyone and all that. She's just gonna feel upset and want to be distant from everyone. So it's going to ruin the entire mood, ruin Christmas for Yuzu, and I could definitely see Matsuri doing something like that. So, yeah, and before that happens, okay? I know for a fact Matsuri's probably going to pull that crusty stuff in the next episode. It's bound to happen. I'm just going to say, I've seen enough. I've seen enough anime and read enough manga to know that's what's going to happen. I know it. I've seen it. Now, I do believe if that does happen, I'm just predicting right now. Let's see if I'm correct, though. I'm predicting if it does happen, Matsuri's probably going to come out and basically say she's sorry. I can already see it now. I can already see Matsuri basically saying, I'm sorry for ruining your Christmas, and then maybe all that's well ends well, basically. I can see that happening. So, Yuzu asks Mei to hold her hand. And I'm like, whoa, 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 Citrus. Censor that, okay? Censor that. That's too explicit, okay? I mean, you can give me kisses and, you know, the assaults and all that, the sexual advances, you can give me that stuff, but the holding the hands, that's too much. Censor that. There's children. There's children that watch this show, okay? There's children. Chill. So, this episode was pretty simplistic. I mean, the big point of it was that Mei joined in on, like, a date with Matsuri and Yuzu. They were just, spending time together, and obviously Yuzu didn't look at this as a date. She was just hanging out with, like, a little sister, and Mei hitched along for the ride, basically, and they were just having a good time, and Yuzu realized that she wasn't really paying attention to Matsuri, and she wasn't, feeling bad as, like, oh, she wasn't paying attention to Matsuri because she was making sexual advances towards her. She just felt bad because she was neglecting her younger sister, basically, and she felt bad for it. And then you have it where Mei starts to feel guilty because she realizes that she's causing conflict, and she doesn't want to be that type of person. So it does show that Mei is very self-aware. She is caring a lot about Yuzu's feelings, and Yuzu cares a lot about Mei's feelings, and I especially love the scene when she gets very awkward. She's like, why am I so awkward? Why can't I say anything? I'm like, yo, you know what that is? You know what that is? That's basically what happens when you're in love with someone, and when you're trying to start a conversation, but you have nothing to say, or you don't know what to say. It's kind of like you have this guy and girl, they're sitting down, or guy, girl, whatever, okay? You're sitting down with a person you love, and you're trying to have a convo, and then you have it to where you're like, you don't know what to say. You freeze up, you're like, uh-oh, what do I say? And you're like, quick, okay, what do I say? Hey, you know what, how do you feel about the weather? That's some good weather, ain't it? I can already see some people doing that. People do that type of stuff. So when Yuzu's like, I feel so awkward, why can't I say anything? I'm like, that's what happens. That's what happens when you're in love with someone. You get them, that fluttery feeling in your chest. You lock up. Don't know what to say. And I love that about Yuzu's character. It makes me really appreciate her character, how, in a lot of ways, even though she's a very energetic character, she's very human. So, yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to this episode. Like I said, it's very simplistic. It's nothing crazy. It just, the big point she could pull out of this episode is that Matsuri is a snake. Mei is definitely developing feelings for Yuzu. Yuzu having a hand-holding scene, being very forward, like, man, I mean, just good scenes here and there, and I like where Citrus is going. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below, how you felt about this week's episode. How'd you feel about Hardemin and all that being quality in this episode as well? Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? Please be honest in the comments below, and if you enjoy my content, please subscribe. If you like this video, please leave a like, and if you want to get notified for whenever I upload a video, please click the bell icon down below. And with that, be safe, Chibi out.